Channel people, welcome back to the channel. We are back again. It is Monday the 12th of August 2024. Big up all the real ones in the building. We are about to delve in and look at all the news surrounding Arsenal Football Club, and there's some interesting stories going around. A number of players being linked with a move to Arsenal. Kingsley Coman, a potential loan move, and that's going to be the main topic of discussion for this stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We've got some AFTV rants that we're going to be looking at as well. These guys are complaining about the transfers and why Arsenal are moving so slow and why Arsenal are not spending any money. These are the same guys that would have told us a couple of months ago that Arsenal had a £200 million war chest. I mean, if these guys were really invested in what was going on at Arsenal Football Club, then they would understand and know that this was going to be a summer where Arsenal wouldn't be able to spend astronomical money unless they sold players, okay? That was the focus. And I told you guys this back in January. If you wasn't listening, you better listen now, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button, all of that type of stuff. We much appreciate every single one of you in the building. It's a very, very good morning. It is a very, very good morning for us, guys. Come on, the season kicks off this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. Going up against Wolves, first game of the season. Are we going to sign anyone before then? Is Mikel Moreno going to be done before then? Whew, we don't know. We don't know, man. Are there going to be any other players? I mean, Edu has told us. Edu, yeah? Edu, yeah, you've tried to come out and tell us, yeah? Be patient because you won't be disappointed. Yeah, we're not going to be disappointed, Edu. Okay. Oh, that gives us optimism, doesn't it? Edu has told us you won't be disappointed. Which means he must have something up his sleeve, ladies and gentlemen. Is that going to be Kingsley Coman? Is it going to be someone else? You know, who knows? Who knows? Hopefully we'll find out. Big up all the real ones in the building. Make sure we are hitting up the like button. Big up Jack. I see you in here, Jack. He says, we've been for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Edu, you absolute clown. How many more underwhelming transfer windows? And a lot of people are underwhelmed. A lot of people are questioning it at this moment in time, especially those guys that assumes we were going to have a £200 million war chest to spend. Big up Rat in the building. He says, Wax, blessed day, my bro. Don't get you live, but watch after work. Big you up. Keep your foot on Arteta's neck. Edu too. Big up my guy Ratlit AFC. Big up Captain Hetch. He says, Wax, what's up, G? Keep the grind on the Unfiltered channel. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Unfiltered channel, I don't know what you are doing. You're missing out. Go over there, subscribe. Yeah, we've got some banging content coming out as well. And that channel is already on more subscribers than this channel. Can you imagine? It's only been going for about a month. Interesting. And we've got some loyal supporters over there. But go and subscribe. Go and subscribe. And the missus watches them as well in the evenings on the big screens. Let's go. Big up Cap and Hex, man. Big up the missus as well. Big up my guy Nathan Hawthorne in the building. Big up all the members. None but love and respect to you guys. We got P White in the building. We've got Andrew as well. We've got Tony, Peppermint Freedom. Andrew says, club and fans always accepting mediocrity, not effing good enough. Absolutely. What else we got going on here? Big up Zeke. He says, big up Wax in the gang. He better pull Victor Gyökeres. That's the only way I'll give him any credit. Maybe that's what he's looking to do. Maybe that's what he's telling us. You know, don't be disappointed. I mean, not even you. Don't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. Be patient. You won't be disappointed. Oh, Edu. How can you just throw those words out there, Edu? Like us, man, ain't going to keep you accountable, blood. Yeah? That makes me put my size 10.5/11s on your neck even more, my guy. You know how I've just pressed down. I'm pressing down on the Adam's apple now, my guy. You know what? You're about to choke, bro. You're about to choke. I swear down, if you can't deliver, you'll be dead at the end of this one. I'm telling you, bro. It's not even a joke. Those size 11s are sitting on his Adam's apple at this moment in time. The pressure is just being applied. Like, bro, what do you mean? Be patient. I won't be disappointed. Okay. Okay. Let's see. How many more days do we have? We've got about 2.5, 3 weeks left. Oh, guys. Big up PTM Productions as well. Big up my guy Abdullah. Big up Mr. Robbo in the building. Big up Eamon in the building as well. He says, Edu said, won't be disappointed, not be excited. So maybe just a midfielder, Wax. Didn't expect more than that. We're talking about Mikel Moreno. Is that the player that he's referring to? I'm expecting Mikel Moreno as well as at least another marquee signing. Another marquee signing at a bare minimum. It has to be a striker. It doesn't make any sense for it not to be a striker. That's the only other real position that we need. And I think You know, you're looking at the squads and the squad depth. I think we're good to go. You know, striker, midfielder, we're actually good to go for the Premier League, as well as give a good run in all domestic competitions, as well as the Champions League as well. So no excuses, man. Edu's got two to 3 weeks left to deliver on what he's basically just promised. He promised us that we won't be disappointed. Okay. Well, I'm telling you now, fans are already disappointed. You know what? Let's start with those fans. Let's start with those fans that are disappointed. We might as well get the reactions out the way. We might as well get we've actually got an Edu interview as well, so don't go anywhere. We've got an Edu interview. The guy's been talking. All right, so don't go anywhere. We've got a few interviews to look at, and a few players to talk about as well. Make sure we are hitting up the like button, all of that. We are going to start right here. Where are we? We're right here. Okay, there we go. So this guy, not too sure who he is. He's an Arsenal fan. Big him up, man. Big him up. He's concerned. He's actually concerned. After this, we're going to move on to Turkish and hear what Turkish has got to say for himself as well. But let's listen.
But Robbie, man, we need signings, man. Like, what's going on, man? This,
oh, I hear something like that, you know.
Bro, like, we need signings, bro. Like, this, it's been very underwhelming, this transfer window, man. It's been ass, let's be real, man. Like, other than...
All right. So we bought in Calafiori. What else would you like? Marino's looking like that's going to happen next week.
Underwhelming. Who's Marino?
You know what? Real talk, though. Real talk. You have to give it to him. Like, who is Marino? Remember, 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, Edu actually told us that from here on out, the players that we'll be adding would be world-class players. We can start targeting the world-class players. Now, since he's actually said that, the only world-class player I think we've brought to the club is Declan Rice. It's the only player that we've actually brought to the club that's world-class. Everyone else, you know, you can't really say they're world-class as of yet. We need to see them, you know, step up and prove themselves. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, if you, Calafiori, big him up, he's looked good at the Euros. He done well for Bologna under Thiago Motta last season. But we can't actually say at this moment in time that Calafiori is a world-class player. We have to still see how he adapts to the Premier League. The Premier League is the big test for any player in the world. You know, you can go to La Liga, you can go to the French league, and you can go to, you know, German league and bag a bunch of goals, right? Score 20, 30, whatever you want to do. For me, because I know the Premier League is that league, yeah, you have to come here before you can really determine how qualified a player is. If you are really that world-class player, people are all, of course, going to call a guy in the Liga, a guy in the French league, a world-class player because what they've done over there, their numbers you can't, you know, just throw those numbers in the bin and say, you know what, he's doing world-class numbers, but he's doing it in a league that you would expect a lot of people to go over there and bag world-class numbers. Do you know what I mean? So for me personally, and this is not taken away from any player. So, you know, the Mbappes, the Messis, you know, those type of players that have only done it in their respective leagues. This is not taking anything away from them. But for me, I need to see you do it in the Premier League for me to say, you know what, you're that guy. And this is one of the reasons why I said Ronaldo's the GOAT. You know, I big up Messi. I respect Messi. I love everything Messi does. No diddy. You know, he is like, it's really hard. It's really hard for me to say who is the better player out of him and Ronaldo, but I edge towards Ronaldo for the simple fact, and I probably would say Messi technically and all of that, but I edge towards Ronaldo for the simple fact that he has been to multiple leagues and demonstrated it. Do you understand? So yeah, man. I wish Messi would have come to the Premier League. I wish he would have joined Man City and spent 2 seasons there or something. He didn't need to be Arsenal. But if you ask me, look, eye test, looking at Messi, looking at Ronaldo, who are you going to choose? You know, Messi looks, the technical settings of Messi are out of this world, but he's definitely technically better than Ronaldo. But anyway, we're not going to go down that route. The point we're making here is that, you know, the players that we are signing in this window aren't world-class players. You know, you understand? Mikel Moreno's had a good Euros. He's just won the Euros, of course. Still doesn't make him a world-class player. He's been at Real Sociedad for a number of years. Real Sociedad have more or less just been a top 5, top 6 team. You know, they haven't been challenging. They haven't been winning any cups. They haven't been winning anything major. Do you know what I mean? So come on, man. Even West Ham have done more than Real Sociedad, bro. At least they've got some European pedigree, bro, and won themselves a European title before we stole their best player. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. So anyway, I'm not saying I'm disappointed with Mikel Moreno. I'm not. I'm not disappointed. I did expect better than Mikel Moreno, but I do get this guy's point. It is slightly underwhelming because you would have expected Arsenal to do something a bit more sophisticated. It's, a player that's a bit more qualified than Mikel Moreno, in all fairness.
The guy can't
He
even...
just won the Euros.
Yeah, did he play?
Well, he scored the goal that got him through to the semis.
I know he scored the winning goal, but like it can't even get ahead of Fabian Ruiz. Like, I'll take Fabian.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Fabian Ruiz, who plays for PSG, that's the player that I would have preferred over Mikel Moreno. In fact, that's who I thought we were signing. I thought we were signing Mikel Moreno, Fabian Ruiz. But no, it's not. That's not the case. From De Jong to Moreno, that just expectation setting by Edu and team. Trust me, most they will sign is an unknown winger from some small club in Europe. I mean, some reports are suggesting that they're trying to convince Chelsea to take Mudryk on loan. Now, I'm not too sure how true that is, but some people are talking about that. Mudryk on loan. Look, the point. What Edu and them man are trying to do right now is they're not trying to drop off massively, but they know the amount of money that they've got to spend and what they need to do in this market just doesn't match up. They won't be able to get that upper echelon player, that player that's on the top level. They're not going to be able to get that player because the money is going to be too astronomical for them. If they wanted, look, Victor Osimhen is sitting there begging for someone to come and get him, begging. That Napoli are shook. That Napoli don't actually know what to do at this moment in time. If you actually go and read the reports coming out of Italy, Napoli they're shit scared. They don't actually know what to do at this moment in time because they feel like if they keep Osimhen, not only are they going to have an unhappy player and keep him against his will, but they could tarnish his overall value. So when it comes to next summer or the January, they might not get the money that they wanted. They could have got for him this summer. So Napoli are really trying to figure things out. They're really trying to push for Osimhen to leave and get someone to come in and buy him. But if Arsenal really had big boy money with the amount of links, the amount of reports, the amount of scouting that we've done for Victor Osimhen, you're telling me that there's we're not going to try and push for the player. We're not trying. The same could be said for Victor Gyökeres as well. Both Victors, the money is massive. And on that basis, I think Arsenal are struggling. They know they're struggling. They want to deliver. They want to make sure that they bring players in, players that have a certain level that don't drop up, don't take us back. They're not drop-offs in comparison to what we already have, But in terms of what we actually want, we can't get. We can't get. It's like you've walked into the shop and you've got a product that you want, but you can't buy the best brands. You can't buy the best brand. You don't have the budget for the best brand, bro. I've got to buy this cheap brand. I've probably used this once before. It wasn't really my cup of tea. Or it was okay. It was okay. It's okay. But it's not something that I want to continue using for the long term. So I'm just going to use it for now. You know what I mean? And that's how they looked at this. They've walked into the market and said, all right, cool. Mikel Moreno might not be the long-term player for Arsenal Football Club, but he definitely is a plaster for us right now. He can come in, paper over a little crack, and maybe sort out a little minor issue that we have in the central area for the next 24 months. And then we have to re-identify another centre midfielder to come in. And they have to choose that because of the budget, because of the decisions that they have to make those decisions because of the budget and the decisions that they've made prior to this summer. It's all on Edu at the end of the day, bro. It's all on Edu. The fact that he hasn't been able to sell players, the fact that he's allowed players to run down their contracts, the fact that he terminated players' contracts that he should have actually got money for, like all of those things. Even Bellerin, bro. We terminated Bellerin's contract. You're telling me we couldn't even make 5 million off of Bellerin? 5 million. Come on, all of these things are so incompetent and ultimately have been detrimental. And that's the reason why we find ourselves in this position whereby we can't spend more than we are spending. People assume that Arsenal should be able to spend 120 million. Now, you look at a club like Arsenal and say, well, yeah, of course, Arsenal can spend 120 million. But are we allowed to spend 120 million? No, we're not allowed because the project doesn't allow us to. That's what I'm saying. We're not allowed because the project doesn't allow us to. Why doesn't the project allow us to? Because these guys have spent so much money on the project that the project is now in debt. So therefore, the project needs to return an ROI. It needs to return an investment. You understand it? We need to make money off this project. You can't tell me that you've spent over £1 billion on players, including contracts, and you haven't been able to sell one player for more than 30 million. Bro, get out of here, bro. Go and get me my money. Go. That's the conversation. That's been the conversation. Do you know what I mean? So, like, don't be surprised as to why Edu's focus for this summer has been so kind of just honed in on selling players. Like, that's what he's done. He's honed in on selling players, trying to get players out the door. That's been the focus. That 180 category, or those 180 pages of players that Edu had is literally BS. BS. 180 pages of players for you to then bring us Mikel Moreno from Real Sociedad, Mikel Arteta's favorite club, his hometown. Come on, man. You man just literally winged it and decided, oh yeah, Mikel Moreno is a guy that we like. Let's bring him in. Yeah, oh, he scored that winner in the semi-finals. Yeah, let's bring him in. Winged it. Same with Calafiori. Oh, he's had a great Euros. Let's bring him in. Winged it, bro. No plan, no clear plan whatsoever. And this is what we've been calling out since January. I've been calling this out since January. And I said, because of Edu's plan, don't expect big money to be spent in the summer. Do you remember when I said that to you? A lot of people were saying to me, Wax, don't worry. Money's going to be spent. You know, they're not spending in January because they're saving all of the money from January to spend in the summer. Trust me, Wax. I know. Oh, man. You know. Of course you do. It's crazy. Wax, why do they take so long to sign and get deals done and that we need done ASAP? I don't know, man. Big up Cedric. He says we can sell our players at MV prices, same as Man United. Play tax when buying. It is a heritage of the clubs. They can't sell. Just seen Edu on a jet ski with a soggy cigar shouting, "Be excited." Oh, Hawk, don't tell me that, bro. I mean, what's that on Instagram? Wax rant in effect. It's not even a rant, you know. It's not even a rant. It's just like, just telling you what I've already told you, bro. And I need, you know, you just always want Arsenal fans. You want, because Arsenal fans are a family. They're my people. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're my people, bro. Yeah, you're family to me. Like, so when I see you out and about, spot, like, I see strangers that are wearing Arsenal t-shirts, bro. And if I'm wearing an Arsenal t-shirt, we both instantly acknowledge each other. Instantly, like, yo, wagwan. Someone said to me the other day, "Oh, you've picked the right team there, bruv." And I was like, "Safe, guys." And then I looked at him, and he had some Arsenal jewelry on, like some Arsenal watch or something on. It was on a train, like. And I was like, "Oh, I understand. I get it. Do you know what I mean?" So this goes to show you that we're a family, bruv. The moment you connect with an Arsenal fan, it's not about love and respect. So when I give you this information, it's not to brainwash Dons. It's not to mislead you. It's not to deceive you. It's to help you understand where our football club is at and why our football club are not doing the things that we all expect of it. Do you understand? So this is the reason why I tell you these things. I take time out of my busy schedule to do my due diligence, to do my research, to make sure I have a clear understanding of what's actually going on so I can convey that information to the gang. Okay? That's what I do. You know? I look at this from an investigative perspective. It's not just, oh, just read a few articles and no, it's trying to really make sense of the football club that I am a part of. And I've been doing that for the past 20 years. So this is the reason why when people sit out there and start telling me about Arsene Wenger this and Arsene Wenger that, I can offer it to you on a platter in terms of what Arsene Wenger had to go through and therefore why we were stagnant for so many years. I can tell you, if you was really a fan that was invested, then you would know these things. But you don't know these things because you're a Don that just goes to the stadium, you buy your ticket, you buy your merch, and you wave your hand singing Mikel Arteta songs. That's absolutely fine. But there's more to it than that when you are spending time, money, and effort on a football club. There's so much more to it than that. So that's how I stand on it. You know, them way there. So, yeah, man. Edu and these guys, they've been questionable for a number of years. This is the summer. This is the season where they have to deliver. And I said that, and I've been saying that, and I won't stop saying that. Big up Savinho. Savinho is a baller, you know. I didn't even really check out the Community Shield game. I do know Manchester United should have won the game, but I had it on in the background. You know me. If it's not Arsenal, I'm not really invested. But it's there. It's there. It's on. The atmosphere's vibey. I get it. But Rashford missed a bag of chances. Man United should have won that game. But Savinho, man, what a player Savinho is going to be, man. Once he really adapts and understands the league and understand what Pep Guardiola expects and wants, that guy Savinho is going to be out of this world, bro. He is incredible, bro. Big up Wax. Everyone we just sold Brooke Naughty Cuffy for 2 million with add-ons of 2 million. And put on a sell-on clause, say it to Genoa over in Italy. So and it's a good move. It's a good move for Cuffy. Was it a good deal for Arsenal? I don't think so. I don't think it was a good deal for Arsenal. I think we could have got more money out of it. You know, you're looking at 2 million for a player that's got a lot of data, that's actually been integral to the teams that he's been on loan to. Like, when I say integral, this guy's been a starting player. Come on, man, like that. You see that? You see all of that in a conversation, in a negotiation. That right there holds weight. That right there holds weight. Doesn't matter what league he's played in or nothing like that. The data and the fact that he was integral for the team holds weight. So for you to walk into a negotiation and only get £2 million for an English player from your academy that's been on religious loans, being put in minutes and got incredible data, one of the best players for the clubs, that actually was getting man of the matches and player of the seasons for he's on his loan spells, to only get 2 million goes to show you how incompetent our sporting director is. Okay, it goes to show you how incompetent. He's gone to a club like Genoa, who's in the Serie B. He's in the Syria. Yeah, they're in the Syria, bro. Top league, top division. Do you mean you're only getting 2 million for this right back? Crazy. And one thing we can actually say for a fact is that it's hard to come by a right back these days. Like a real put together right back. It's hard to come by a right back these days. You can't really name me like 10 qualified right backs. So many right backs are falling off. You know, 2 years ago, we were calling out Ben White. Today, we're calling Ben White one of the best right backs in the world. It goes to show you that it's hard to come by right backs. So how has Edu sold my man for £2 million, bro? You know what? I'll give him a little bit of credit. Why? Because he sold ESR for 34 million. Anyway, I've been waffling for so long. We don't even know what we're talking about here. Look, what's going on? We love these streams. This is what we're here for. Waffle sessions, all of that. Coffee gang. Big up all the real ones in the building. Make sure you're hitting the likes, subscribing to the channel if we are new. We're on the road to 20,000 on this channel. We're also on the road to 20,000 on the other channel. I'll probably tell you, we'll probably hit 20,000 on the other channel by the end of the week. By the end of the week, we'll be on 20,000. I'm not too sure how long it's going to take us to get to 20,000 on this channel because, you know, YouTube's not kind to this channel. We do know. For those that don't know, this channel is under some sort of shadow ban. It has been for the past 2-3 years, hence why it hasn't grown the way other channels have grown. In the first kind of 10 months of this channel, we was on like 10,000 subscribers. 10 months. This channel's been running for nearly 4 years. So tell me how we're only on 19K. But anyway, let's stop waffling. Let's get into this.
Arsenal. I like that link, but Marino, I'll take him, but it's underwhelming. And for me, we need attackers, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Arteta, since he's been here, 4 or 5 years now, yeah? He's brought like 8 defenders, like 4 or 5 midfielders. He's brought 2 attackers. Jesus and Trossard. No one.
If you work out the amount of players that he's brought to the club, he's brought way more than that. He's brought over 25 man. So, but I get his point there. He hasn't really brought any attackers. Jesus and Havertz. Jesus and Havertz are the only 2 attacking players that Mikel Arteta has brought to the club. One thing we were saying is that that, you know, he's scared of number 9s. I swear to you, Arteta is scared of number 9s. I've been saying this for years as well. Since Aubameyang, since Lacazette, the way he was playing them, how he was playing them, I just knew that this guy was scared of playing number 9s or utilizing number 9s for the players that they are. You're utilizing them for the opposite. Do you know what I mean? Now, Jesus meets the criteria for how you want to utilize a player. But what we've seen of Jesus is that he can't back goals. He can't do what Aubameyang done under Unai Emery and what Aubameyang done under Arsene Wenger and what Aubameyang done under every other manager that he was under. He can't do that. Jesus, wasn't even bagging at Manchester City. But that's the reason why he was put on the right-hand side, because Pep Guardiola wasn't stupid. Pep Guardiola wasn't going to say, all right, yeah, I like what Jesus does in the holes, and I like what Jesus does when he kind of links up play. But the main focal point of a number 9 is to bag, bag. Jesus ain't doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Jesus on the right-hand side. That's exactly what Pep does or did. But what our manager's trying to do is say, no, guys, we don't need a number 9. We've got Kai Havertz, who I'm going to try and play in a number 8 in some games as well. So it's going to be a bit conflicting for the player. And we've got Jesus. Jesus that can't even score more than 15 goals in a season. Yay, we've got Jesus. Don't worry, he's going to bag. Now, I'm hoping that this is a redemption season. I hope this is the season where Jesus comes to life and Jesus can literally add 15, 20 plus goals this season in all competitions. But based on the historical data that we have for Jesus, can we bet on that? No, it's a massive gamble, isn't it? It's a massive gamble, especially when this is the season of expectation. Expectations are high. This is the season where you have to deliver. We need a Premier League. Fans are like myself. I've got foots on necks, foots on Adam's apples, bro. You need to deliver, isn't it? So on that basis, are you really going to rely on Jesus and Kai Havertz to be those number 9s, or are you going to say, actually, let me get what the fans want? Let me get what the fans have been crying out for the past 4 years or 3 years, or even say 2 years. A traditional Bumba Clark, out and out, clinical, goal-scoring machine that plays as a number 9, bro. That's what we've been asking for ages. You know what I mean? And it doesn't seem like Mikel Arteta wants to deliver on that. I honestly think it's because he doesn't know how to use number 9s, or his system isn't tailored for a traditional number 9. Has to be.
One else, like we
Havertz.
You bought him as a midfielder. Thank you very much. You didn't buy him as an attacker, though, did he? You bought him as an 8. It didn't work. You've got fun.
I mean, we say it didn't work. Do expect to see Kai Havertz play as an 8 again this season. He's been playing as an 8 in friendlies. He's definitely going to be playing as an 8 again this season. All right, let's move on to the other reaction, because we've been here for a long time, bro. I was waffling for ages. I do apologize, gang. I can't share this, swap the screen, because the audio will end up cutting out, and then I've got to. So we're going to go straight over here to Turkish, see what Turkish has got to say as well before we get into the Arsenal gossip. We've got an Edu interview as well, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We've got an Edu interview as well. Let's go.
Because I'll turn around to them and say, "Bro, how many years did you take the piss out of us?" The same between you and Mikel. You older fans. That's why. Where's our money? Honestly, where's
our money
gone?
Where's our money? It's a very, very good question. The money has been spent. The money has been spent, bro. Like, if you look at all the amount of money that Arsenal has spent on this project, it's over $1 billion, bro. It's over $1 billion. Now, our money is there. As a football club, our money is there. Arsenal generate enough money every single season to give at least £150 million budget, as well as cover all the other bills, and probably still have some sort of money in the overall bank account to keep things going. You have to remember, corporate companies, they need contingency plans, contingency finances. So those contingencies is just money sitting there that's not even being used. It's just there for an emergency. And for a football club like Arsenal, if you've got contingency in play, you're not going to have a 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand contingency. Your contingency is going to be fucking, pardon my language, your contingency is going to be millions, bro, because your overheads for the season are hundreds of millions. So the contingency that you have in place, bro, they've got money. That's the point, is they've got money. But the reason why Arsenal can't spend that money, and this has got nothing to do with, being this PSR expert, because I know he mentions this in this, PSR expert. No, it's just to understand finances and how finances work behind businesses. And when you look at the amount of money that Arsenal have spent on this project since Mikel Arteta and Edu have become the driving force of this project, it outweighs the amount of money that the football club have generated through that project. Forget what they've done through commercial revenue. We're talking about this project. Now, the project, how do this project generate an ROI? This project generates an ROI mainly through player sales, right? And through competition wins, prize money. Now, we can say to a degree that Arsenal have improved in the league, so therefore the prize money increases for Arsenal. But the main problem for Arsenal has been selling players. That has been a massive problem for Arsenal. Not even just under this project. It's been a massive problem for Arsenal for a long time. A very, very long time. Now, Arsene Wenger actually alleviated a lot of that pressure because when he left, he sold players of a combined nearly 200 million. For those that don't know, over the last 2 seasons of Arsene Wenger being at Arsenal, he spent about 120 million altogether, 130 million or something like that. But the amount of money that he sold players for equated to about 200 million. So he was cleaning house. He was balancing the books. He made sure that the finances were good moving forward, right? So he made up for the incompetence that was created whilst he was there in those last 5 years, last 6 years of him and Ivan Gazidis. He kind of made up for that through player sales. But then what happened is Raul Sanelli stepped in, dodgy dealing stepped in. You then had to get rid of that project, start a whole new project. The whole new project has to kind of account for the losses of that project because the business has to account for those losses. But then forgetting that, you focus on what this project has done and there's been no return. That the project is in debt. You know, if the project had started from when, if the business had started from when that project had started, this business would be in mad amounts of debt to the point where people would have to step in and buy the company, or people have to step in and say, you know what, guys, I don't think you can run this anymore. We might have to go into liquidation. We might have to go into liquidation because the project has had so much money pumped into it and you, man, haven't done nothing about it. So that's the reason why we're in this mess. Sorry, that was long-winded, bro, but you got to understand it, bro. You got to understand it. For those that don't get it, man, it means that you're not invested in what's going on here. You're not invested in what's going on, bro. But anyway, and there's probably more to it than just that, but that's just the basis of it. The basis of what Arsenal were dealing with. And that stems from Edu and partially Arteta. But let's listen to what else he's got to say here.
Well, what's our net spend this summer? 40 mil. 40 mil. I expect to spend another 80 minimum in the next 2.5 weeks. Minimum, we should have at least 80 without player sales. That's only 120 M's.
Love this
guy. No, but where is it? All of a sudden now, everyone's an expert. PSR's coming now. Everyone, shut the fuck up. We was dealing with FFP 4 years before FFP even came in. Do you remember those years?
Yeah, I remember.
So I don't want to hear no.
You know what? That's what I'm saying. The point he's missing is that those books got balanced by Arsene Wenger. You know what I mean? When we had problems, Arsene Wenger was balancing the books, my guy. Do you know what I mean? So it was one of the reasons why we found it difficult to actually buy players even under Arsene Wenger. You know, we had the selling of player was for a reason, but we had to sell players all the time. It was for a reason.
It's combined anymore. Yeah, that restricts us. I'm done with all of that. No, I'm done. How? Like, it doesn't make sense.
With all due respect, they're probably saying the same about you, though, about PSR experts and what you can spend and all that.
Exactly, it's exactly the same thing. If you feel like you can spend, you know, you ain't tapping into what these other guys are, you know, tapping into, and they can say the same thing about you. You're calling them PSR experts, and they can say the same thing for you because how do you know that we can spend that type of money? You're just making the assumption that because we're Arsenal Football Club, and we're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we've done Champions League and we've come second in the Premier League back to back, we should be spending money. You got to remember in the Invincible season, a season where we went invincible, Arsenal couldn't even afford to pay players. We were so down in the dumps financially, and no one ever speaks about those things is because they wasn't invested as much as they think they are. Otherwise, they would have known about that. They would have known that Henry, Bergkamp, Will Todd, all of those dons in 2004 had a conversation with David Dean where David Dean said to them, excuse me, my guys, but there's going to be maybe 2-3 weeks of delayed payments because we can't actually afford to pay you, man. Oh, man, we needed Stan Kroenke then. We needed Stan Kroenke then to come and save us. Why do you think David Dean went to Stan Kroenke initially? He didn't want Stan Kroenke to come in and be a majority shareholder or any type of shareholder. He just wanted Stan Kroenke to give him a budget, give me some money so I can spend it on keeping my business afloat. And over the course of a 4-year period, 5-year period, we'll then pay you that money back. That was the focus for David Dean. But it didn't end up that way. Because of Peter Hillwood, now we've got KSC as our main owners. But this is another reason why I think we're in good hands. Like the owners themselves will do everything they can to try and alleviate pressure, to try and make sure the manager's got what he needs, to try and make sure that we are competing and we are growing and we are being that team that we always want our football club to be. But now we're at a standstill because of decisions that have been made by the people that are driving the bus. Ultimately, sporting director Edu, Richard Garlick, and Mikel Arteta. And it's not to say, well, if you don't sort this out, we're going to fire you. Because either way, it has to be sorted out. But the focus for Arsenal right now is to sort that out. That's what the focus is, you know?
Listen, I know if you need to do something, listen, we've seen it. We're seeing it. We've seen it with many clubs. Even United, it's not just, I'm not looking at City here who have bent the rules to a way where, I'm not saying bend the rules, but there's ways about, look, Todd Bowley comes in, and I'm not saying what he's done at Chelsea is good, but he sees a loophole and he tries to take advantage of it.
See, the difference with Big Belly Bowley, the reason why they can spend so much money at Chelsea, Turkish, is because Chelsea, over the past 10 years, have made astronomical money off player sales. They've made astronomical figures of player sales, bro. The way they can balance their books is to a next level, bro, because they're making cream. They're making cream. The people that have been driving the operation at Chelsea have made cream. Regardless of how we feel about that lady, what's her name again? I forgot her name again, man. Flipping hell. The last sporting director that they had. No matter how we feel about Roman Abramovich and whatever dodgy dealings that they were doing, right? And how they brought players in and so on and so forth. Chelsea have had a project, an operation that has generated them enough money through player sales each and every season to a point where they can go and say, you know what? I'm doing 500 M's this season and no one can tell me nothing, because my business is good for it. Arsenal can't prove that their business is good for that. This is what PSR and all these things are involved for. They're involved to make sure that the actions that you take as a football club are sustainable, that your business is not going to go bankrupt. Based on the decisions that Arsenal have made, these guys are on red alert. They're on red alert, mate. You can't, come on, bro. This is like people not understanding the thing that they're invested in. This is what you talk about daily. You're on a podcast talking about this daily, but you don't understand this simple part of the game. It's a very, very simple part of the game, my guy. Very simple part. You know, them way there, bro. But man's not understanding it.
How comes every time there's a fucking few letters put together, we are the beacon holders of it all and we must follow it because it's class, tradition and all that? We need to win the league. We've just spent 40 million on a centre-back. Come on, man. Seriously, where is the money?
Look, I do hear him, man. Like, don't get it twisted. It's not to say I don't hear what Turkish is saying, but if he understood how Arsenal operated and what Arsenal was about and what Arsenal had been doing over the past 5-10 years, then he wouldn't have had to have this conversation. He wouldn't have had to say what he said in this podcast. You know, I don't have to say, "Oh, where's the money?" because I fully understand what Arsenal are doing and how Arsenal are operating. So it's weird, man. It's weird. Let's see what Arsenal can do. It's not to say. It's not to say, right, that Arsenal can't still go and spend money over the next 3 weeks, because we've still got Eddie Nketiah to sell, guys. We've still got Aaron Ramsdale to sell. The moment those two players leave Arsenal Football Club, that does alleviate pressure. Now, because that alleviates the pressure off the project, it means, to a degree, the club itself can decide that we can increase the finances or the financial operation by an extra 5 to 10% or 20% or whatever percentage it may be, for the simple fact that you was able to alleviate pressure through player sales. You've got Eddie out the door, you've got Ramsdale out the door. Now, we know every 3 years, the owners of a football club, they can pump about 150 million into a football club at any given time, and that money is just goes down on the books. It just goes down on the books as an injection, an owner injection. That is legal. That doesn't affect anyone via FFP. It doesn't affect anyone. So if Arsenal now, if Edu decides at this point, I sold ESR and I sold everyone that we've sold so far, I've got Eddie at the door and I've got Ramsdale at the door, the pressure that might alleviate can then mean that the owners can say, you know what? We are able to pump in the extra 150 million. So that means within the next 3 weeks, we have got an extra 150 million to play with. Do you understand? But the only way the owners can do that is if Edu hurries up and sells Eddie Nketiah and Ramsdale. He needs to sell them. If you can't sell them, Edu, it's going to be a problem. But if you can sell them, us working as a team, we can probably sort something out. We can probably give you an extra 25% on top of the money that you generate through those player sales. Do you understand? Is everyone with me? Does everyone understand what I'm talking about here? That's how the game works, man. You've got to prove that you're on stuff. And that's how the owners can then inject. They only can inject when you alleviate pressure. If you alleviate pressure through player sales, then the owner can come along and say, well done, Edu. You've generated 70 million through the two sales of Ramsdale and Eddie. That's 70 million in the budget. But what I can also do, because you've alleviated that and we've got an extra bit of leeway to work to play with, I can give you an extra 15 million on top of that 70, taking you up to 120. So in the next 2 weeks, you've got 120 million to go and get the striker that you want. That's how it works. If anyone doesn't understand that, then you don't understand football and you don't understand business. You ain't no way there, bro. Yeah, I mean, why would Kroenkes invest their own money? Edu put them in huge debt. That's the only way to spend right now with their own money. I mean, they might want to put their own money in just to kind of help with the overall project, the running cost of the project. You have to remember the project is on a running cost. To keep the running costs going, to keep the project going in the direction that we want it to go in, I might have to pump an injection into it to keep the running costs of this project going. Do you understand? It's a business, bro. And it's a project for a reason. The moment it flops, you bring in a new manager, it's more or less a new project. The manager ain't going to be willing to take on all of the bullshit that project kind of left. You would expect, Arsenal to kind of alleviate that pressure for the new manager to then start again, and it'll be a whole new project. But then it could be difficult. It depends on what decisions have been made, because if Arsenal find themselves in a massive amounts of debt through the project that they had running for 5 years, and then they decide to end that project, sack the manager and bring a new manager in, you might have to go through what Liverpool are going through now. Now, it's not bad. It's not bad because Liverpool have got a good, solid team. Liverpool have got a good, solid team that don't necessarily need to kind of, it doesn't necessarily need a bunch of new players. Do you know what I mean? But what they'll have to do in order for Slot to really build his squad is he's going to have to get rid of a bunch of players. So that's what the new manager of Arsenal might have to do if this project is in debt by the time Mikel Arteta and Edu leave. The new manager and the new sporting director will have to come in. They'll look at the numbers from the last project. They'll realize that the project's 1.5 billion in debt based on what it's already spent. So how do we alleviate that? All right, cool. We're going to have to sacrifice players. Sorry, top players. Who is there? Martinelli, Saliba, Saka. Sorry, you guys have to go. We're getting 150 million for all of you, or for you each, or whatever it is. Bang. And that's how it works. That's how it works. Glad people are finally seeing Edu and Arteta's actions are not sustainable. And this is what I've been calling it out for about 3-4 years, bro. Plain and simple, Edu has to do his job. Big up the Southern Gooner. Exactly. They might be done with projects after 800 million, to be honest. I don't blame them. Boy, I think, like I said to you guys, it relies on this season. I think this is the season where the owners are able to really determine how qualified Mikel Arteta is in terms of, can he win us the league? Can he win us a major honour? The same with Edu. I think Edu kind of saves his job a little bit because Edu has been focused on selling players and he has got players at the door. Whether some of those sales have been underwhelming, the Norton Cuffy one that we just looked at, 2 million, I think you could have got at least 8 million for him. You're looking at the Conga, Nuno Tavares, they're all losses. They're all losses based on your project. Your project bought them and your project is making a loss on them. So obviously he's getting players at the door. He's still got Eddie Nketiah and Ramsdale. ESR, I think I'll give credit to Eddie for getting the ESR one done. Why? Because this is a guy that hasn't played for Arsenal for 2 years, but you sold him for 34 million. And, Conor Gallagher, an integral player, was literally on the verge of joining Atletico Madrid for 1 million more. And he was like a captain for Chelsea. So on that basis, you give Edu some sort of credit. But there's so much more that needs to be done. And so much more money that needs to be made through these player sales. The only problem for Arteta is that, the players that you've left yourself to sell, they're not really valued at that much money, are they? So you can't expect astronomical money for them. You can't expect it. Big up all the guys in the building, though. Make sure we are hitting the like button. Do subscribe. All of that. If you've missed the first 45 minutes, then you've missed 2 reactions because we were doing AFTV reactions, and that was long-winded. I can't lie to you, bro. We were just literally waffling for a long time. And when we say waffling, it's not a bad thing. We're literally talking facts, but we call it waffle because we're going on for too long. Like, you know, like you're going on for too long, my guy. Like proper waffle sessions. Like that's why we call it that, right? So yeah, just take that in. Take that in. Chelsea have competent sellers. We have Edu who fumbles simple deals. Exactly, man. If anyone doesn't understand what Chelsea are Marina, that's her name. Sorry, guys, Marina. Chelsea are flipping. Come on, they're rivals. I hear it, but come on. The reason they've been able to spend so much money and do what they've done is because Todd Bowley's looked at the books and he said, "Wow, man, this club was run proper run." You know what I mean? Like the way these men have been selling players, like 200, 300 million per season on player sales is crazy, man. You're selling players and they're selling academy players as well. Like these man, come on, Chelsea have been run well in terms of how they've sold players. We haven't, man. We've been running to the ground. How can Iwobi still to this day, who's been at 2 different football clubs since he left Arsenal, still to this day is the most money we've made on the player? That's crazy. Big up Wayne in the building. Salute to you, my guy. Not but love and respect to you. Arteta has built a team to challenge, but Edu has to give him the final pieces to get us over the line. Edu, do your job, big man. Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that and say that the players that Mikel Arteta has brought in, the characters of these players, not all of them, but, you know, a good proportion of them, you know, they have turned out to be, you know, good characters, good personalities, you know, real strong leaders, committed players. Like I respect that. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? There have been a lot of cons though, you know, with players. A waste of time, waste of money, waste of resources, like all of that. You know what I mean? But you're right to a degree. Edu needs to deliver. Mikel Arteta needs to know who he wants, and Edu needs to know how to deliver that player. So let's see, man. Let's see what Arsenal do. Let's actually move on from this now. Let's go into some Arsenal news because all we've done here is share bare opinion. I don't know what happened, man, but everything that I was logged into on this computer all of a sudden logged me out. You know, when you're going onto all the usual websites that you're used to using, and you're like, rah, why is it asking me for my password and to log in? Like, literally, it logged me out of everything, bruv. And I hate when it does that. Because, you know, when you forget certain things, like, and I've got to go and find where I've left it, and but it's long. All right, news. So Chelsea are being hijacked by this guy, Samu Komarodian. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Komarodian, you know. Omarodian. The deal for Chelsea collapsed. It looks like he's on the verge of signing for Brighton. He's got a Brighton t-shirt on what I'm seeing right now. And it also suggested in one other report that I read this morning that another London club reached out to this young player, Omarodian. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Can someone break it down in syllables for me in the chat? But it was reported this morning that another London club actually made contact with a player to see if he would be interested. It could be Arsenal. Could have been West Ham though, because West Ham are active right now. Newcastle to return for Mark Gahey this week. They had a bid rejected by Crystal Palace a few days ago. For those that don't know, what else we got going on in the world of football right now? Oh, actually, we've got another Edu. We've got an Edu interview. What am I talking about? Yep, let's go to that. Actually, let's do the Edu interview. We have an Edu interview. We've got an Edu interview. Edu. There he is. Edu! 45 seconds long. I haven't actually heard anything from this. So let's see what Edu has got to say. The audio should still be cool because I haven't swapped screens. West Ham cooking something. Trust me, West Ham, Brentford, a lot of teams are cooking stuff, man. Bournemouth, they've signed a few different dons as well. You pronounced it correctly, bro. Big you up. Bournemouth want to sign Victor Rogue as well. He was linked with Arsenal a little while ago, wasn't he? Could be Brentford's. My predictions: either one of Arteta or Edu are not at the club next year. Most likely Edu, who will be sacrificed for Arteta. I mean, one of them could leave. One of them could leave. This season is a season of results, man. I swear to you, it's a season of results. But I think like Edu has kind of demonstrated that he can sell. Like, yeah, not all the figures have been great, but he can sell, and that's what the owners have wanted to see. I think the owners are looking at Edu as like, look, bro, you have to kind of prove to us that, you know, we've promoted you to be the sporting director. You need to prove that you get the players that are no longer wanted at this football club. You can actually move on. You have to be able to demonstrate that. So I think because the pressure has slightly been on, Edu is focused on that this season. And because he's focused on that and he has been decent enough for the owners to say, all right, cool, that might allow you to have one more season, 2 more seasons to really see how you kind of move from here on out. But Arteta could be slightly different. But I could be totally wrong, because when I say slightly different, I say, look, if he doesn't deliver the Premier League or the Champions League, I think the owners could say, we're done. But then again, you know, when you're looking at all the PR, when you're looking at everything that comes with Arsenal Football Club, the owners seem to love Arteta, bro. Like the owners seem like Josh Kroenke seems like he is riding for Arteta. Like, no, I don't care what he does. I'll vouch for him. No, I don't care. I'm vouching for him, bruv. You know, them way there. That's the kind of impression that I get from Josh Kroenke. Like, he is ready to ride for Arteta. No, did he? Arsenal being very quiet can be both good and bad. Big up TB. I just wish he was a proper technical director. He's like Arteta's stooge. This is what I'm saying. The person that should have been the sporting director of Arsenal should have been Arsene Wenger. That should have been the sporting director, not Edu, bro. Should have been Arsene Wenger. I think Arsene Wenger would have done a tremendous job. The players that he would have brought in, he would have had some of the dons that we've got now. I think Odegaard, you know, these type of players would have inevitably joined. You remember, it was Arsene Wenger that brought Martin Odegaard to Arsenal. And there's an interview going around. There's an interview at the moment with Odegaard and Arteta speaking to someone. I can't remember who it is. And Arteta's really touchy, isn't he, bro? He touches Odegaard all over the place, bro. He's like, he can't stop touching Odegaard. I'm like, bro, just take your hands off him. He's your guy. I hear you, bro. But you don't need to be touching him every minute, bro. It's mad. But Mikel Arteta actually said the moment Arsene Wenger told him about Martin Odegaard, he knew from there that Martin Odegaard was going to be a genius, a great player. So, you know, he was sold based on Arsene Wenger's take on Odegaard. So that one was inevitable. That one was inevitable for Arteta and Arsene Wenger. It would have been inevitable for both of them. If Arsene Wenger would have become the sporting director, Odegaard still would have joined Arsenal Football Club. Big up Fargo. We don't normally advertise our business as other clubs. Hopefully Edu does a badness and get a striker or a winger. I don't want Ivan Toney, and I would agree with that. I don't want Ivan Toney anyway, as well. Sorry, but let's listen to what Edu's got to say here.
Of course, we want to win titles. Of course, we want to bring the trophies here to this football club. But how we're going to bring it, for me, is the most important thing. I want to win in the best way possible, and I want people looking to us and say, I feel proud of you guys because you're winning the right way. You get the trophy in the...
You know what, though? I'm not going to lie. Pausing it for 1 second. This is probably the first time in a long time where Edu comes across really passionate. He comes across with a lot of conviction. He comes across like he means business. He comes across like the expectations are high. You know what's giving him, you know why he's moving like that? I'm telling you now, the reason why he's moving like that is because he's had stern conversations with the owners. The owners mean business this season. The owners mean business. The pressure is on for Edu. There is no way he is talking with this much conviction, this much passion, if he doesn't actually mean business. He's already told us, be patient, you won't be disappointed, bro. That's what Edu's telling us. Okay, let's just pull this interview up for the people that are joining. Make sure we are hitting up the like button. But let's listen to Edu again.
Of course, we want to win titles. Of course, we want to bring the trophies here to this football club. But how we're going to bring it, for me is the most important thing. I want to win in the best way possible, and I want people looking to us and say, I feel proud of you guys because you're winning the right way. You get the trophy in the best way possible. So I'm not talking about no one here, but I'm talking about ourselves. How to win, how to lose, how to draw.
How to lose. Oh, please, Eddie, no. We don't want to know how to lose, bro. The game's about winning. I get what he means. I understand what he means, but bro, it's got to take it out of context just for a minute, just to kind of vibe with it.
How to get the trophy. This makes a lot of sense for me. We didn't get the trophy last season, but ask every single fan of Arsenal what they feel about us. That's for me is important. They have to feel proud of us, how we're working, how we're doing, because we live in sports. Sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose, but how for me is important. That's the direction we as a club has to go always. Of course, we want to win titles.
Okay, we don't get a lot from that, but what I do like, it was slightly passionate. It was passionate from Edu. You know, there was a lot of conviction in what he was saying there, and maybe that's just the pressure being applied from you know, the owners. It could also be the pressure coming from the fans as well. You know, like you got to think. You know, I've been doing Edu daily. Of course, the past 2 weeks we have been literally inconsistent. I do apologize for that, but we've been doing Edu daily for the past kind of 3 months. And I'm pretty sure we've been landing on Edu's desktop. Edu has been seeing the pressure, bro. Yeah, he's been added to every single thumbnail. But it's not only me, and there's multiple people. You know, a lot of fans that want Arsenal to deliver. They've got a social media team for a reason. That social media team is scouring the social media networks. They're looking at YouTube. They're looking at me. They're looking at Football Terrorists. They're looking at whoever they need to look at to try and gauge an understanding of how the fans really feel. And they know that this is a season of expectation. This is a season of having to get results. And if they know from the fan side, from the fans' perspective, it's about getting results, but they also know from the owner's perspective, it's about getting results, and it's about increasing what we're doing here as a football club. And we're talking about player sales, we're talking about everything else that comes with that. Then it makes sense as to why someone like Edu is coming across with a lot of passion, a lot of do you know what I mean? I wouldn't. Like, bro, this guy seems like he means business. It seems like he actually wants to make something happen for Arsenal this season. Let's see how serious Arsenal is. And let's see how serious Edu is. But it's interesting. Interesting. Edu is cooking something, says Arsenal Avenger. How to lose. Oh, man. This is what I'm saying, bro. Edu, we don't want to know how to lose, bro. You're kidding us. You're killing us. To win in the proper way, Eddie more deluded than deluded TV. How to win in the proper way. I know it's English, isn't it? It's his English. I mean, things. It'll be crazy if an English person whose first language was English was speaking like this. You know, you question him. You'll probably call him delusional, but because this is his like second, third language, probably. It's just being misinterpreted. I get what he's saying, but yeah, let's see, man. Let's see if he can deliver. Let's see if he can deliver. All right, guys, let's move on now to some Arsenal news. What we got going on here? We've been here for almost an hour. We're gonna probably go on for about another half an hour, to be quite fair. So don't go anywhere. Hit the like button, all of that type of stuff. Got some content I need to record for Wax Unfiltered this afternoon as well. So busy afternoon. Busy afternoon. What did Edu actually say? So Edu basically said, be patient. You won't be disappointed at the end of the transfer window. So there's more to it. It's not just you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed at the end of the transfer window. So what magic has Edu got up his sleeve? This can be seen as an implicit confirmation that Arsenal will not end the transfer market after the Mikel Moreno deal. Or he could just be referring to Mikel Moreno, and it's like, oh yeah, we done something. So you shouldn't be disappointed. Let's wait and see what great things this man is nurturing. Okay, well, we'll have to wait. We've got no choice but to wait. But it's the 12th of August, 31 days of this month. So that kind of gives us, if my math serves me correctly, 19 days, is it? 19 days? Yeah, 19 days. Well, that's a long time. It's over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks for Edu to really show us how competent he is and how qualified he is. You know? Is he lying to us? Because there's going to be a meltdown if he doesn't deliver. Oh, You know, on the 31st of August or on the 1st of September, there is going to be a massive meltdown online, and I'll be involved in it if Edu cannot deliver on his words. We're holding you accountable now, Edu. You have to deliver, bro. You have to deliver. There's no turning back. There is no turning back. Okay, what else have we got to talk about? We're going to talk about Kingsley Coman. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Kingsley Coman. Mikel Arteta is literally telling Tommy Yasu that he has to be patient now. This is a way of Mikel Arteta telling Tommy Yasu, you are plan C, bro. Plan C. Tommy Yasu's got a mad injury though, man. Mad injury. Juventus are reviving their interest in Kivior and will decide definitely early next week if they are trying to sign him or not. Arsenal will only let him go in a permanent sale or a loan with an obligation to buy. That's a report that's been published in the last 24 hours, published by 86 Longer. Not too sure who they are, but Kivior still being heavily linked with a move away from Arsenal. Juventus would be a good destination for him, but how much money would Arsenal get? We're also being linked with Indigra. Can I get his name out? Indigra. Brother, I can't get it out. But I do know he had a good African Cup of Nations. You know me, I butcher names, bro. I butcher names. Adim. We're calling him Adim. Adingra. I think I got it right the first time, didn't I? But Brighton winger Simon Adingra, ahead of a possible transfer this summer, Arsenal are keeping tabs on the player. They're keeping tabs on the player. That's according to Team News and Ticks. Adingra. There we go. There we go, man. I got it. Be patient. It's been half a decade. Win the right way. BS. Double speak. What does that even mean? Be excited. We've heard that before. I know, man. PR. It could be PR, man. We've got 3 weeks to find out. It could be PR. Looks like Saka's twin. Well, they are trying to bring someone else in to kind of give Saka a run for his money. And Adingra has been good for Brighton, especially after coming off the back of the African Cup of Nations. He's been given more minutes. He's looked really good, electrifying, good on the ball, nippy. Do you know what I mean? One of them agile type players. So you never know. Arsenal could be trying to make a move here. Brighton are going to have to alleviate some pressure. Oh, no, they don't have to alleviate no pressure. Brighton have got all of the money in the world. Brighton's books are like the best books on the planet. Like, can you imagine that? Brighton have got the best books on the planet. They're not the richest on the planet. No, I'm not saying that they're the richest on the planet. I'm not saying that they've got the most money to spend on the planet. What I am saying is if you look at Brighton's books and you compare them to all of the books on the planet, Brighton's books are looking so wealthy right now that if their owner really wanted to, their owner could probably say, you know what? Here's 250 million to spend. And that's not even going to touch FFP. It's not even going to come close to touching FFP. You know, they're way there. So that's because they've done good business, man. But you never know. They could be willing to sell more players. And Arsenal could be in for Adingra. He had a fantastic AFCON, man. He had a good one, man. He had a good one. Someone tell Arteta and Edu to buy Mikey Moore from Tottenham. Mikey Moore. I'm not too sure I'm familiar with that, Don, bro. Mikey Moore, you're trying to mug me. Oh, there is a guy called Mikey Moore. Sometimes you got to be careful, bro. People are just getting you saying stuff. Oh, you know what? This man, Mikey Moore. I saw this name the other day. I haven't seen him play, so I can't gas him. But I think it was just people online suggesting that Tottenham have got this wonder kid and he's 17 years old and blah, blah, blah. And he done well when it's friendly and whatever. I do have a few Tottenham friends, by the way, so it might have been one of them that was saying it. Mikey Moore, 17 years old. Yeah, maybe if he's that guy, bro. But then, will Tottenham sell one of their young bucks to Arsenal? They'll probably come with some astronomical money, like 100 million. Okay, next player is we've got St Johnstone winger Callan Hamill has turned down Celtic and Rangers with a move to Arsenal next summer now expected. This looks like a young player being published by some guy called Jordan. You know, this is not someone that's going to be coming into Arsenal's first team, but it is a player that Arsenal are looking at, published 1 hour ago. Plays for St Johnstone over in Scotland, for those that don't know where that is. And yeah, Arsenal are looking at youngers to add to this young academy. Nico Williams will be staying, as we do know. He's been handed the number 10 shirt. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Omo, officially Barcelona player. What a move. Just trying to see if there's any latest news, man. Like all of the news surrounding Arsenal, bro. It's just dead. People are writing in the chat like nothing is really being published at this moment in time about Arsenal. So what we'll do is we'll move on to the last topic of discussion, which will be Kingsley Coman. Mikel Moreno, for those that are asking, Moreno is close. I mean, Mikel Moreno's done. It's more or less done and dusted as far as I'm hearing. Mikel Moreno's done and dusted. There are small minor details that Arsenal are trying to sort out. That's all it is. Small minor details. Valuation ain't a problem. Like this is inevitable. That's the best way to put it. Just trying to look at what the latest headlines are saying. I mean, the latest headline actually says that Arsenal are now pursuing 70 million Victor Gyökeres. I mean, it is coming from the Sun. Can't take that for gospel, mate. Can't take that for gospel. But they're using it as the main story. They're using it as the main story on their. Oh, pardon me, guys. Late nights, early mornings, bro. A lot of yawns there. I probably made half of you guys yawn. Yeah, they're actually using Victor Gyökeres, sorry, as their main topic of discussion. But Mikel Moreno here says Real Sociedad are remaining firm on Mikel Moreno as they want to keep the midfielder. Arsenal have been in talks to sign the Spanish international, but the Daily Mail have claims that the La Liga outfit are reluctant to let him leave. That was published 3 minutes ago on The Sun, but the original article would have been published by the Daily Mail. Mikel Arteta has spoken about Kai Havertz in German in playing for Arsenal. We don't care about that. Saka up for an award. Liverpool target Rabiot, a free agent. Timber, again, out injured. He's been doing some individual work, but we're not expecting him back for the first game of the season. So Timber, another player that suffered a little minor injury a few days ago, and therefore wasn't able to partake in the last games of the pre-season. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything about Victor Gyökeres. These guys are proper just trying to use Victor as some sort of clickbait, bro. Sorry, my eyes are now watering, so I'm yawning too much. Yeah, sorry, man. Bear arms, because I don't know what's going on here. All right, let's just move on to Kingsley Coman. I was just looking to see if there was any Victor Gyökeres updates, but I can't really see anything online at the moment. If anyone's got any links, then please do comment down below. Let me know. Sorry, man. Sorry, I keep yawning. Gyökeres would be phenomenal commercially as well for Arsenal with his celebration and following. What do you think? Yeah. Big up. Is it Anchor? Yeah, absolutely, man. Like his celebration is one of the best celebrations on the planet. His data and everything that comes with that is top notch. I've done the eye test on Gyökeres for the past 8-9 months now. It's been a very, very long time. And I can tell you that there is no striker on the planet that is as complete. And when I say complete, I mean like literally can do everything. Like literally can do everything. Like you can't really name me. You can't really name me something that Victor Gyökeres can't do. I think probably his weakest attribute could probably be like set pieces. And we're talking about taking set pieces. But then even then, I haven't seen him take a set piece. But when we're talking about off the ball and everything that he does with the ball, you can't tell me one thing that he can't do, bro. Like, he is literally one of the most complete strikers on the planet right now. And when you say complete strikers, we're talking about, again, players that can play in multiple attacking positions. They're that versatile. So, yeah, Victor Gyökeres, man, that's the guy. That is the guy. This guy's on a hospital bed more than Neto. Are we talking about Yuri and Timber and Tomiyasu? Because right now, them two, not looking good for them, especially Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's finished. Tomiyasu is literally finished. Tomiyasu is so finished that Mikel Arteta is already telling him that, bro, you're going to have to be super patient. You ain't getting back into this team. You ain't getting back into this team, Tommy, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You know, when Mikel Arteta talks and when Mikel Arteta just brings in a replacement for you, you just know what time it is. We saw what happened with Ramsdale. We've seen what happened with multiple players at the club. But Mikel Arteta drops you, there's no way back. There is no way back. Tell me a player that Mikel Arteta has dropped, but there has been a way back for. No player. Even Kieran Tierney come out the other day and said the same thing. He says, listen, the moment Mikel Arteta sent me on loan, I knew I was never playing for Arsenal again. He knew. Because he said, tell me one player that's gone out on loan and then come back to be the main number 3 or the main player in the starting 11. Other than William Saliba, but that was like a development process. It wasn't a senior player that was already playing first team football that then got sent out and then come back to continue playing first team football. You know, it is a rarity. Like it doesn't really happen. If you're 26, 27 and your team's loaning you out, your team's actually loaning you out, it means they don't rate you, bro. They don't rate you, sorry, bro. So Kieran Tierney, he's done. But it's surprising that Kieran Tierney's got nothing in the pipeline. I haven't heard anything about Kieran Tierney leaving the football club or like any football club being interested. The last time I heard was Celtic, and Celtic allegedly don't have the finances to get Tierney done. You know, his time at the club is all but over. I'm just looking at the headlines at Kieran Tierney right now. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. It just says fans believe Tierney is 100% leaving. Celtic icon erased from Arsenal squad. I mean, that says all you need to know. Erased from Arsenal squad. There's a YouTube account which talk about Celtic football, and their title is "Signing Tierney is no pipe dream." So, I mean, it looks like Tierney's time is done. His time is over. It's over. You know, his time is totally over, mate. Can't sell an injured player right now. Is Tierney injured right now? He is injured, isn't he? Is he injured right now? Damn, man. We have to cut our losses. Anyway, Kingsley Coman. So what does it say about Kingsley Coman? Arsenal are putting a shock move to sign Bayern Munich winner Kingsley Coman on a season-long loan. Sources have told Football Insider. Bloody hell, you can't trust that platform. Sources say Coman is keen on making the move this summer, but would seek assurances over his playing time. Well, unfortunately for you, Mr. Coman, seeking assurances over your playing time at Arsenal are going to be extremely anorexic, okay? Because Mikel Arteta is not going to give you no reassurances. It's either you want to play for Arsenal or you don't want to play for Arsenal. That's just how Mikel Arteta sees it. So he says. So he says anyway. So he says. Do you know what I mean? So he says. I don't think anyone can get reassurances on their playing time at Arsenal Football Club. It's the focus from Edu and Arteta is if you are questioning the project, if you don't tell me or tell yourself that this is the football club that you want to play for, then it means you ain't suited for my football club. So if this guy comes out and if this is genuine and Coman comes out and says, oh yeah, like I'm interested in Arsenal, but I need reassurances over my game time, Mikel Arteta is just going to slap him and tell him to go back to Bayern Munich, bro. That's what he's going to do. He's going to slap him and tell him to go back to Bayern Munich. Go back to Germany, cuz. I don't care what you got to say, bro. How about you're asking me about reassurances, bro? We got Saka over here, cuz. We got Martinelli over here, cuz. We got Trossard. We got Dons. We got Dons. Man's asking about reassurances. No. And I hear what you're saying there, Nicholas. If Martinelli is not careful, he might be the next forgotten man. And that's extremely interesting that you say that, because I said a few weeks ago or a few months ago that Martinelli could be the sacrifice for this project. You know, if Arteta or Edu decided that, all right, cool, we need to alleviate a lot of pressure and we need to really sign something significant here, when we might have to then sacrifice. If we sacrifice, it could be Martinelli, it could be one of those type of players there. But no, they didn't make that decision. But it still could be, it could still be in a pipeline. It could still be one of the main agendas that are just kind of looming in the background there. You know what I mean? We need 4 or 5 players, not one. That's overly negative. I wouldn't say it's overly negative. I would just say it's kind of realistic based on our bench and our overall squad. You know, if we're looking at 5 players right now, and I'll just give you 5 players that I would, or not even 5 players, because like there's so many players, I would be left overwhelmed. I won't know who to choose, right? Unless I just choose favorites. But let's just say positions. Like we know in this squad right now, there are a handful of positions that we need. We need another centre back. If Calafiori is playing as a left back, we need another centre back. If Calafiori is playing as a centre back, then I think we need a left back. Like we still need to sort out that position. Like we can't say, oh no, but we've got 3 or 4 players that can all play in that position, so I think we're sorted. No, we need someone that knows that position, that has made that position their own, and that can just walk into that into any game and make it look easy playing from that position. Calafiori could be the answer, but a lot of the talk of the town is to suggest that Calafiori is going to be playing as a centre back. He's going to be rotation for Calafiori, for Gabriel. Sorry. So if he's going to be rotation for Gabriel, that means we are still lacking on the left back position. That means we're going to still see Zinchenko playing out there. We're going to have an injury-prone Jurrien Timber, who we still don't know how qualified is, playing out there. You know them way there. So that doesn't fill me with confidence. That doesn't make me feel like, all right, we're gonna. So there, right there, we need to either get a centre back or a left back. Then moving on from that position, we'll need to bring in another centre midfielder. Even if we sign a midfielder in this summer, we need to bring in another centre midfielder. Thomas Partey and Jorginho just isn't the answer. We need another one. We also need a right winger. We need a right winger, 110%. We need a right winger. Even though there's positions whereby, or even though there's players, that can play in those positions, you can kind of switch them up. I still think we need a right winger, someone that knows how to play that role on the right, and that can give Saka around for their money. It could be Coman. But the point I was making with Coman is that, bro, you can't ask for reassurances, not with Mikel Arteta, bro. See, when you want to play for Arsenal, or you don't. You know them way there. If you ask me about reassurances, sorry, mate, see you later. I'm going for the next guy. That's Arteta's approach. Anyhow, it doesn't mean that we don't need a right winger. I still think we need a right winger. We definitely need a right winger. And then, so that's what's that? 1, 2, 3 positions. The next position that we need is a striker. Even if we sign a striker this summer, are you telling me we don't necessarily need another striker? Because I still think even if we sign a striker, even if we sign Victor Gyökeres, we're probably going to need another striker next summer. We probably will need one. Because Jesus and Kai Havertz ain't strikers. I can't classify them guys as strikers. So, yeah, I'm gonna say we probably need another striker. So that's 2 strikers we'll need, especially if Eddie Nketiah fully goes. So that's like 5 players already, and then you could probably still think of more. Think of like replacing Fabio Vieira. We might have a replacement for Fabio Vieira anyway. Actually, when I was watching Ethan Nwaneri, I was like, oh my God, Ethan Nwaneri, my guy, Ethan. My guy Ethan Waneri, you know. Baller. Yeah. My baller. Yeah, the way Ethan Waneri was just drifting, dropping into space, collecting a ball, and just directly running into attacking positions, starting attacking phases. You know, like Ethan Waneri's gonna cook, bro. Yeah, Ethan Waneri is going to cook. He's already got end product, but the moment he actually kind of just tweaks his end product for this team, Ethan Waneri's going to cook. Oh, Ethan Waneri. I think I'm going to get Ranieri's name on the shirt, you know. He deserves it. He deserves it. I think Ethan Waneri, we need to all go and get Ethan Waneri's name on the shirt. Everyone, every Arsenal fan, just go to the Armory or go to your local Adidas shop or wherever you want to go and get Ethan Waneri's name printed on your shirt, bruv. Let Ethan Waneri know that every single one of us rate him differently, because he's going to be on smoke. I want the Arsenal commercial officer. I want the Arsenal commercial officer to look at the numbers and see the search shells for Ethan Waneri go through the roof, blood. Oh, if we could do that, that would be crazy. If we had a big enough following whereby people would actually just go and get the Arsenal shirt and put Ethan Waneri's name on the back, oh man, they would have to play Ethan. You know that they would have to play him. We would force Arteta to have to pick him. How can you tell me that you've got millions of fans buying a shirt with Ethan Waneri's name on the back and you're not playing the guy? What the hell? But one thing I do know is Ethan Waneri is going to give Yamal and all of these young players a run for their money, especially once he gets his claws into this Arsenal team. From all these Portuguese players to Fabio Vieira, Edu is cooking. Listen, I rate Fabio Vieira. I'm not too sure if that was a sark comment, but I actually rate Fabio Vieira. I think he's so much more better than people give him credit for. Yes, I agree. He has to grow. I think it's a mental thing as more than it is a physical thing. But this is the season where he has to show and prove. You know, what I see of Ethan Waneri the other day, I was like, nah, man, you know what, Fabio, you can't let Ethan Waneri come onto the pitch, get on the ball, and literally drive at a midfield to the point where he takes 2-3 man on and puts the ball and drops a shoulder on the defender. He drops a shoulder on the defender and he puts the ball on the plate he puts the ball in the 6-yard box, but no one's there. Someone clears the ball, but it was just the overall play. And I was like, Fabio, you cannot let Ethan Waneri come into the team and show you that. And you don't show man nothing. No. The level of determination that we were seeing from Ethan in that game, I swear to you, he's out here to prove a point. He is out here to prove to Arteta that he is better than Fabio, that he is better than even Kai Havertz in the number 8 role. Like, you don't need to play Kai Havertz in the number 8 when you've got me, Ethan Waneri, right here in your squad. That is the message that he is putting out there, bro. Don't put Kai Havertz in the number 8. Don't put Fabio in at 8. Don't think of putting anyone else in at number 8 other than me. And I just hope Mikel Arteta believes in him. I hope this is you know what season I hope this is for? You know what season I hope this is for Ethan Waneri? I hope this is a Cesc Fabregas season for him. That 2004 season, that breakthrough season for Fabregas. Even 2005 was a much bigger season. Even though it was an invincible season for Arsenal, 2005 was a much more bigger season for Fabregas. This is that season for Ethan Waneri, bro. Has to be. Has to be. Big up my brother Wiz in the building. Now about love and respect to you, Wiz. All good and well, my broski. I am very, very well. I am very, very well, man. So yeah, man. It's it's all looking good. Ethan Waneri, my brother. This is the season for him. This is the season. Arteta doesn't even play the youth like that. I know, but this is the season I reckon he's going to make an exception, especially for Ethan Waneri. Has to. He's been cooking too much. He's been cooking way too much. You know, they're way there. Okay, man. Let me read through 3 more comments. I'm going to wrap this up, man. I've been on the stream for nearly an hour and a half. I've got more content that I need to record for the Wax Unfiltered channel as well, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Wax Unfiltered channel. We are almost on the verge of 20k, and that's probably going to be the 100k channel for this for me. We could even make 1 million on that channel, bro. I think next couple of years we could be on 1 million, bro. I hope so. Who is our best back four, says Jay. Big up Jay Charles. Our best back four, the back four that I would personally go with next season would either be the four that stays fit. Obviously, logically. But for me, our best back four, talking about technical and all of that, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiore. That's the best back four we have. That is the best back four we have. So let's see, man. Let's see what happens. Big up my guy Trapstar. Nothing but love and respect to you, broski. Big up DS Electronics. He says, big up Hugh Wizzy. Come on, man. Big up my guy Wiz anyway, man. I want to shout him up anyway. I hope he's well, man. Good morning, Waxy. Even though we sign another CM, I still think we can keep Partey. Still has a lot to offer. Yeah, I mean, Partey's got no legs. This is literally has to be Partey's last season. Has to be. Lucy is friends with Tom. Jay Slater settings, boy. Jay Slater settings. Partey looked good against Leon. Needs to pray he stays fit. Yeah, let's hope that Mikel Arteta don't start playing him as a right back and end up killing him. End up killing us, bro. If we play Thomas Partey as right back, you're gonna get outrun, bro. Especially if you got faster wingers on the wings. You know them way there. All right, one more comment that I'm gonna get, ladies and gentlemen. This window, what do we want? It's a window by window, not overall. You can't get 5+ player in one window. We don't run like that. I mean, we could have got 5+ players if Arsenal would have made some sales earlier on in a window, or if they would have made sales in previous seasons, which would have alleviated pressure for us this season. But, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, all we can do right now is hope that we get a few more players at the bag and we have a better season than we did last season. You don't need legs in midfield. So this Prem thing is clouding judgment. IQ does it. You know, look, I agree to an extent. I would agree to an extent, but I have seen Thomas Partey get outrun. You have to bear in mind, like, you know, if we're playing with a lot of possession and we're high up the field, and Thomas Partey is playing with freedom and he's expressing himself, there could be a moment where he allows a player to get in behind. No, did he? Okay. If he allows a player to get in the behind, no, did he? Then it could be detrimental. And we've already actually seen it. When we played Man City, did we not see Kevin De Bruyne outpaced Thomas Partey? It was a scary sight. Kevin De Bruyne had a ball. He was running with the ball. He outpaced him. You need both. Big up VPIF Keys. I would agree. I would say you do need both. You do need both. But I would say, you know, being able to read the game, being able to put yourself in the right position, all of those things probably do outweigh the physical sides, the legs. But, you know, for me right now, Thomas Partey, he can't run. Like, he can't run, bro. He can't run. It's not even a thing where, like, he can run, but he's a bit slow. He just can't run. Like I was watching highlights. This is what made me realize that Partey can't run anymore. That's the last thing I want to talk about before I wrap this up. I was watching highlights of him at Atletico Madrid. When he was at Atletico Madrid and he was the octopus, oh my God, Thomas Partey was literally everywhere. He looked like one of the fastest players on the pitch. Thomas Partey was everywhere. He could run then. Yeah, mate. He had legs to get him over to every part of the pitch. He was shutting down everything. He had the ability to link up. He does what he does, you know, with Arsenal. He's done that for Atletico Madrid, but he was everywhere. For Arsenal, he can barely maneuver his feet. He can barely maneuver his feet to put his body in a position to kind of prevent himself from losing the ball. Do you understand what I mean? He can't move quick enough. You can easily take the ball off Thomas Partey and he's finished. If he loses the ball and you easily intercept the ball of Thomas Partey, he is finished. He won't be able to recover. His recovery it won't happen. He'll be relying on Declan Rice. Now, if Declan Rice, let's just say, give ourselves a scenario. If Declan Rice is pushing the edge of the area, he's pushing the edge of the area, trying to link up, trying to create some pattern to get the ball into the final third, and something goes wrong. A player gets in behind Thomas Partey, no diddy. A ball through, wingers come in with fast runners. Thomas Partey is finished. Thomas Partey is finished, man. He's finished, man. I'm happy he's staying. But look, let's see what happens with Thomas, man. To be quite fair, you know, Thomas and Jorginho, the experience that they do bring is vital. I totally agree. But in certain scenarios, yeah, they're not good. They're not going to be good enough. They're not going to be good enough. All right, there's a lot of comments coming in, but I'm going to wrap this up now, ladies and gentlemen. Much appreciate every single one of you. Big up all the real ones in the building. Nothing but love and respect to every single one of you guys. Hit up the like button. I've got a lot of content to record now, so I ain't done. I am not done. But make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel if we are new. Go and subscribe to the Wax Unfiltered channel. Also, go and subscribe to Hugh Wizzy's channel as well if you haven't already. And yeah, man, just keep showing the love. Hit the like button. And all of that, bruv. All of that. Been a pleasure. Let me give a few shout outs to the guys that are still at the bottom of this building. We've got Mish, we've got TB, we've got 00 Slice, we've got Serix, we've got the Punch Up Network, we've got Lance, we've got Troy, VPIF Keys, we've got Trapstar, we've got a number of the guys. Make sure you're hitting the likes. All of that. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.